All right, we are live. Hey, hoop ballers, moving the keyboard out of my way so this mic doesn't miss a second of my sultry sounds of Brent, the middleman. Hope this is coming through good. My first solo broadcast here. We're coming to you today because we have crazy news. But before I get to that, remember, if you like what we're doing here at HoopBall, you don't want to miss an episode. Hit subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell. I mean, come on, you guys know what to do by now. Do you guys get annoyed that every single YouTube video has to say that? I mean, there must be something statistically that says people are more likely to hit the like button or subscribe if we just say it over and over again. But I'm going to say it anyway, because if you're here watching me, chances are you saw it through Twitter. You're probably subscribed already, honestly. But if you're not, it's free to subscribe and hit the bell. Then you don't miss anything. We don't have a set schedule yet, so hitting the bell is really important. Also, please leave comments, live comments, leave comments on the posts. It all helps us rank, get more fans. I know we help you with your fantasy team, so the last thing you want is everybody in your fantasy league watching us, even though we want everyone in your fantasy league watching us. But still, you can go to hoop-ball.com, subscribe, get into our Discord, and still get an even better advantage because you can ask us questions 50 times a day if you want, like some folks on there. And we're happy to answer. There's like 8 of us now, so-called experts, that will answer your questions and do the best we can. We just pay a lot of attention to this stuff. We read all the articles. I've been doing leagues for 25 years. We just kind of know how people in leagues think and mathematically what works. I don't actually like workout stuff with math, but I think instinctually I just kind of know now, like, if this is going to help me or not. We could also identify trends really easily. We know if an injured guy is going to lead to somebody really picking up, if there's going to be some guy waiting to take his spot to do well or whatever. So anyway, that's a long way of saying, like HoopBall stuff, check us out. If you want to win your league, it really helps. I have a pretty good record in my leagues. I don't really lose that much. So I'm happy to help you guys. I know that's kind of the same with everybody in this league. So so hit that stuff. So what is the big news? Chances are you saw the thumbnail. Andre Drummond intends to sign with the Lakers. Of course he does, right? Like, do the Lakers, what team couldn't use more championships than the Lakers, huh? So Drummond's gonna be on the Lakers. If you were counting on Marc Gasol for anything, sorry, he's done. Montrezl Harrell, folks, I mean, he'll probably kind of just do the same stuff Montrezl Harrell does. It's not like he was amazing anyway with these guys out, but holy cow. If the Lakers were good with LeBron, Anthony Davis, and JaVale McGee, or LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard, I think they're going to be pretty good with Andre Drummond, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and this whole kind of new team they have going from last year. The Lakers are going to be really good. As an Anthony Davis owner, I'm worried this will give them even more reason to kind of hold him out to the playoffs. It's going to help them hold a nice seed, which means they probably not going to rush LeBron back, probably not going to rush AD back. As long as they're in the playoffs, they're going to feel like they don't even care what seed they get. They probably don't want to be in the play-in game, but either way, they're going to be so stacked once that happens that, it's sayonara to everybody else. So as a LeBron owner in one league, an AD owner, I'm a little worried they're going to take their time with those guys. But, I mean, it's not like you can cut them. Even if you don't have an IR spot, you can't cut those guys. You just kind of got to wait, hope, manage the rest of your team well. So what do we need to know from a fantasy perspective with this move, other than, Gasol and Harrell getting hurt by this? And Kuzma. Kuzma gets hurt by this, I think. He may not even be ownable in fantasy. As long as Davis is out. I think Kuzma is ownable. Same with Harrell. Drummond's just going to do what Drummond does. He's going to get a lot of blocks. He's going to get a lot of rebounds. He's going to miss a lot of free throws. He's going to get a lot of steals. And with no LeBron and AD, honestly, get Drummond in your lineup. I don't know if someone dropped him in your league. Don't even hesitate. Go trade for him right now. I mean, he's going to be a beast. He's the only one there other than Dennis Schroeder who can do anything. Kuzma is not what we thought he was. He's not. I mean, who knows what's going on with that guy? I mean, how much do the Lakers regret holding on to him instead of Brandon Ingram in that AD trade? I mean, come on. Jeez. So Andre Drummond's going to be a beast until Davis and LeBron are back. And honestly, that's probably the rest of the fantasy season is going to be all Andre Drummond. So, yeah, run him out there. Thank your lucky stars if you've held on to Andre Drummond at this point. He couldn't have ended up in a better spot for his fantasy value. Honestly, he's going to be a monster. So, kudos to you, Andre Drummond holders. I never draft the guy, honestly. I always think about drafting him, but I just don't. I don't know. I'm not a big, and he's definitely a guy that if you draft him, you kind of got to punt a category. I usually punt if I have to, like if, whatever. But yeah, if you have Drummond, just be happy. Just be happy you got him. He's in a great place. As a guy, I've held on to Marcus Gasol in a deeper league. I'll probably just kind of see how things shake out, but I got to think that he's toast. I mean, he just looks slow anyway. So, yeah, he's looking like, according to Woj, looking at the NBC/Roto World. I remember Roto World before NBC bought them. What a great site that was. I mean, good for them that they got bought out, but I kind of wish they still were kind of going, I don't know. I kind of wish they were still like HoopBall, hoop-ball.com. Check it out. That's, we're not corporate shills like these Roto World people anymore. I mean, look, if they came in with the right price, like I don't own HoopBall. I'm just kidding. But, I think everyone has a price where they would sell out and be a corporate shill. But with right now, we're not. We're just a bunch of guys who I don't get paid. I just do it for fun, something to do. I enjoy helping people and seeing people succeed in their fantasy leagues. It's just a fun thing to do. It's something I've dedicated a lot of time to. So if I can help somebody else win some money or crush their friends into the ground and then high five them after, I'm happy to do that. Let's see. So at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. my time, so 40 minutes ago, he was going to sign. Oh, no, 2 p.m. That would have been 2 p.m. my time, honestly. So, yeah, Drummond's going to have huge fantasy value. It's going to be great for him personally. I think with LeBron and AD out, his stats are going to be huge. He should get a huge contract this summer. Nobody wanted to trade for him because they knew he was a free agent. That's probably why the Warriors still have Oubre. But, I think Drummond is going to get a big, big, big contract this summer. And good for him. I mean, look, the NBA, he's a classic, like, great center. And he's so dominant. He's still pretty young. He should get a big contract from somebody. I don't know who it would be, and I'm not going to speculate here. There's a bunch of teams that could use a solid center like that. That's for sure. Let's see, Kyle. So we'll go into some other fantasy stuff. If you have any comments about the Andre Drummond thing, or you're just getting on here now, let me know what you think. Just post the comments. I'll read them out. I'm getting really blurry. Or if you have any questions about your fantasy team, just in general, it doesn't even have to do with Andre Drummond, let me know. I'll stay live here for another 10 minutes or so. Let's see. Kyle Lowry out tonight. So, Justin just posted in the comments that Lowry is out tonight. Yes, he is. No Norman Powell. Normally, I'd say fire up Norman Powell, but in this case, Freddie VanVleet is going to go nuts. No Matt Thomas. So what does no Lowry mean? It means Fred VanVleet and Siakam are gonna go crazy. Why is my thing keep doing that? Let's see. I'm just going through my list here of people. Luka Doncic is healthy. I guess he had an illness and back tightness. I mean, look, I'm 43. Back tightness is like a daily thing. What's going on with Gary Trent Jr.? Oh, he's on Toronto now. Yes, fire up Gary Trent Jr. If you're doing streaming. I apologize why my camera keeps focusing. Maybe I'm moving too much, but yeah, fire up. Yeah, I mean, look, with no Lowry, Trent, we know what Trent is. He's a scorer. He's threes. He doesn't give you a lot else. You're not making up your assists and your things with Gary Trent Jr. He's pretty much he's a shooter, and he's going to shoot a lot if he gets to play. So if you need points and threes, he's something, but he's not going to give you across the board fantasy help. So let's see what else we got here. Christian Wood is questionable. Man, can this guy just stay healthy? He's first round value if this guy can just stay healthy. It says an illness. That's always nerve-wracking these days. Look, Kelly Olynyk. I love Kelly Olynyk on Houston. Go all in. I mean, Kelly Olynyk's going to be great on Houston, especially with no Christian Wood. I think he's going to get a ton of run. I love his fantasy game. I have him in this $150 buy-in league, and I'm psyched that I've held on to Olynyk. I think he couldn't have ended up in a better spot for his fantasy value than Houston. I think they're going to play him a lot. That's just personally. I don't know exactly. Maybe they won't. I think they would, and why not? Especially with Christian Wood out. Jayshawn Tate and KJ Martin Jr., Kenyon Martin Jr. Should have pretty good games. I think they're both ownable for sure, especially Tate. I think you hang on to Martin right now and kind of see how things shake out. He could get hurt a little bit by the Olynyk thing, but look, Houston has nothing to play for. They're strictly just going to play their young guys. So Martin and Tate are going to have be big the rest of the way, I think, for sure. Let's see. Lonzo Ball is questionable. Same with Jackson Hayes. Not that it matters. But Lonzo Ball is questionable. He's missed the last 4 games. I picked up NAW in a few leagues, which has been good with Ball out. As soon as Ball comes back, his value gets hit. But I like him as a good value pick if Ball is out. We'll see. They don't really seem that motivated to play Lonzo right now. I thought he was going to get traded for sure the way they were treating it, but see if he's in. If he's in, you got to play him. Don't get rid of Lonzo. He's great. Bradley Beal is questionable. He got hurt during a hard fall in the game. So, man, the Wizards are a mess. They don't have anybody besides Beal and Westbrook, in my opinion. I did pick up Daniel Gafford in a couple deeper leagues. I like his potential from a fantasy perspective. I mean, they still got Lopez and Len there, I think. I think they're still there after all these trades. But I like Gafford's potential from a fantasy perspective. I think he's kind of worth a risk, at least in deeper leagues, 14 and up. I don't know about 12 teamers yet, but if you got a spot on the end of your bench and you want to do a lottery ticket thing, I think you could do worse than trying for Gafford. Julius Randle's questionable. So we'll see what he does. Alec Burks. If there's no Randle, Alec Burks. I think Alec Burks is probably ownable right now anyway. I mean, he kind of needs injuries to help him. So if there's no Randle, I think Burks would be big. Kevin Durant out another week. God, man, he is killing me. I thought I got a steal with KD in these leagues. He's playing 4-on-4. That's great. Too bad NBA's 5-on-5. So yeah, he's out another week. So we'll see. We'll see how the Blake Griffin experiment works out. Claxton, he's hurt by some of their acquisitions, but I think as long as Durant's out, he should have some value. Kyrie Irving is available for the game tomorrow. So yeah, fire up Kyrie if he's going to play. That's for sure. D'Angelo Russell still out Monday. Oh, Dragic is probable. So, well, the Heat have Oladipo now. We'll see. It's not looking good for Goran Dragic. I have him in a few leagues. I mean, he's solid when he plays, but we'll see how that shakes out. They're going to have kind of a mess there at the guard position, in a good way for them. They got a lot of talent, but from a fantasy perspective, it's a mess. Let's see. Well, I'm going to the next page. I'll take a couple of questions here. Let's see. What do you think of Thomas Satoransky in 9-cat Roto Cap League? Can I add these? Let me show the question here. So what do I think of Sato in a 9-cat Roto Cap League? Who is better, Sato or Ingles for threes, assists, and rebounds? That's a good question. I would lean the Ingles for those categories. I think Satoransky will be a little up and down. I think Ingles will be a little more consistent. So I would lean Ingles. I'm not a big Satoransky guy. I think Kobe White's going to earn time back here at some point. So I would lean Ingles for that one. That would be what I would say. Let's see. What else we got here? I traded Kemba and Broyan and got Barnes and McCollum in a points league. Is that CJ McCollum? You traded Brogdon. I bet it was Brogdon. I was thinking Boyan, but so Kemba and Brogdon got Barnes and McCollum. Yeah, I would rather have Barnes and McCollum in that. I think you got the best end of that deal there. I think Barnes is one of the most underrated fantasy guys out there. He's super consistent. He plays all the time. You know what you're going to get. Kemba's just annoying to own at this point. I mean, look, he's a great player, but he's just annoying to own. I like that deal. I think you did good there. I picked up Theo Maladone. Yeah, no, I picked up Maladone too in a bunch of leagues. I know Jerome is there, but I love Maladone's fantasy potential. He's getting like 30 minutes a night. Look, he's going to be cold. He's going to shoot 25% sometimes. But the steals are usually there, which are big. The assists are there. Tough categories to get in fantasy. So, yeah, I love the Maladone pickup. It looks like they're not going to be in no hurry to bring SGA back. If they've already shut Horford down, they're not going to be in any hurry to bring SGA back. It's going to be, the Thunder. I'm super excited to see what the Thunder do the next with a crazy look, what the 76ers did with the whole, with waiting on Embiid, waiting on Simmons, blah, blah, blah. Thunder are doing something completely different here. Like the ultimate tank, they're the ultimate tank experiment that a lot of teams are, Houston seems to be headed towards that. And Orlando now seems to be kind of following the Thunderbolt blueprint. It's going to be interesting to see what they build out of there. I mean, obviously SGA is a great piece. Moses Brown looks legit. I picked him up in my 16-team keeper dynasty league, and I'm psyched. I had him earlier in the year in my 30-team dynasty, but I had to drop him because I had a guy come off injury, and I have a pretty stacked team, honestly, for a 30-team dynasty, and I had to drop Brown. I would have dropped. There's so many guys on my team I'd rather drop instead of Brown right now, but I had no idea he was going to turn out to be like the next Christian Wood or the next Andre Drummond, actually. But yeah, whatever. So it's going to be really cool to see what the Thunder do. I'm really excited to see how that plays out. Do I hold on to Danny Green? Yeah, I don't even know why you have Danny Green. Honestly, Justin, I don't know. I know. Look, Danny Green does what he does, but yeah, I think you could find better guys out there than Danny Green, honestly. Let's see. My team is Murray, Fred VanVleet, Powell, Harris, Siakam, Cat, Pirtle, Bay, Ingram, Hunter, Sato, Nance, and Noel. That's pretty solid. 9-cat Roto Cap. Should I improve my team and trade Cat? No, don't trade Cat unless you get another top 5 guy back. I wouldn't trade him. No. I mean, look, shutdowns happen, injuries happen. I don't think they're going to shut Cat down like Horford got shut down. Totally different situation. Hang on to Cat. You picked him where you did for a reason. You got a really good team. Just ride it out and keep your fingers crossed, man. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you missed in the beginning, I said, do you guys get sick and annoyed of YouTubers just saying that all the time? Like, look, we know to subscribe and like, are there brand new people like my mom or someone who's going to come on and be like, oh, I can subscribe and check out my son on here all the time? Oh, that's cool. I mean, we all know how it works, but look, we don't have a set schedule yet. So in reality, like the notification bell is your best friend because you're going to know when we're going to come on and when we're going to do these. And then when we get a set schedule, you'll be more prepared. Let's see. Is Ball worth a pickup? Yeah. I mean, look, they're saying what, minimum 4 weeks? If you got an IR spot, why not? I mean, are you bumping Kevin Durant out of the IR spot? No. But if you got a spot, yeah, of course. He's totally worth a stash. I mean, he could be back technically by fantasy playoffs, mid-fantasy playoffs. So, sure, why not? Do I trade for Holiday? I assume you mean Drew. And Garland. Do I trade Holiday and Garland for Shea? Are you getting Holiday and Garland? If you're getting Holiday and Garland, I would do that. I would trade Shea for those two guys. I wouldn't trade for Shea at this point. But if you're getting Drew Holiday and Garland, I think that's a good trade. I don't know who you have to drop, but I worry about Shea. I don't think the Thunder are going to be in any hurry to bring him back. Look, I mean, it could be you could kick yourself and you could come back and be amazing, but I think Drew Holiday is good enough that you're not going to regret doing that. Oops, skipped one. Does Seth Curry lose value with Hill coming in and Green so hot? Drop him for a Kiki. Yeah, look, Green is not going to stay hot for one. Hill has been hurt all year, so I don't know how much he's going to even play. I don't think the short answer is I don't think Seth Curry loses value. I would rather have Seth Curry than Okiki. I think Okiki, his shooting is somewhat questionable. I think Seth Curry's still a little bit better. But yeah, look, you got Shake, you got Green, you got Hill now. I mean, it's sort of a logjam there. But Seth has been there all year. He's been good. I don't see them cutting his time a whole lot. So I'd hang on to Seth for now. I don't think he's worth cutting for Okiki. I mean, I think Chuma is a good pickup if you have someone not as good to drop. For sure. Getting Holiday and Garland. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, look, I'm hanging on Shea because I got an IR spot in a couple leagues, but if I could get Drew Holiday for him, I think that's probably a pretty good deal. Chance Okiki. Oh, yeah. I think Okiki definitely is a starter. I don't even know if Otto Porter even plays a game for the Magic, to be honest. They could just buy him out or whatever. Magic are full rebuild, full Thunder mode. I think there's more than a chance. I think it's highly likely that Okiki's a starter. I think Hampton's going to get a lot of run there. Look, they're not going to be your fantasy saviors, so don't think that they're going to be that. But I think they'll definitely be solid. Let's see. 9 Cab. Would you rather have Capella or Drummond? And would you package Capella to try to get Bam or Vooch? Look, I mean, I think Capella is usually underrated. One, I would say yes, I would rather have Drummond than Capella because I think, especially with Davis and LeBron out, I would much rather have Drummond. Although I really like Capella, but I would rather have Drummond. Capella and Kemba. Yes, I would trade Capella and Kemba or Capella and Clarkson for Vucevic. I would try to get Vucevic first because then you're not losing too much in threes. And if it was Capella, yeah, I would trade either one of those guys for Bam or Vucevic. So yeah, if you could get Bam or Vooch back for those two, I would do it. But if you hang on to Capella, he's still great. Don't worry about it. But I would rather have Drummond, and I would definitely trade for those guys. Does Robert... No. Nope. Tice is gone. It's Time Lord time. They didn't... Yeah. Robert Williams, I've been talking about Robert Williams all season. The HoopBall guys will tell you. But look, it's not like I was the only one on the Robert Williams hype train. Like anyone who knows fantasy basketball loves Robert Williams, but this is his time to shine. He's going to be amazing. Don't worry about Time Lord. If he's available, go get him. He's awesome. Lowry or Olynyk rest of season? Oh, that's a good question. It's funny that I even have to consider this. Man, is this a hot take? I'd say Olynyk. I just think Olynyk does more. I think he gets more assists. He's better defensively. Yeah, my hot take is Kelly Olynyk rest of season. Who's the pickup in Orlando? And is Herter a drop? And is Dieng a pickup in a 16 team? Yeah, I mean, I'll start at the end. I think Dieng is probably worth owning as 16. Memphis is pretty. They got a lot. Or did he go somewhere and I not know this? Somebody help me out in the comments. But I think if Dieng's anywhere where he's getting minutes, he's a good pickup in a 16 team. Is Herter a drop? Yeah, I mean, Atlanta, they've got a lot of wings, huh? Yeah, probably. If it's a 16-team league, no. In 12-team leagues, there's probably better players than Herter. Although Herter has been playing well. He's surprisingly good on defense. So, yeah, I mean, it would be tough. It would have to be a pretty good pickup. But I don't own a Herter anywhere, so it's hard for me to say. The best pickup in Orlando. Well, Wendell Carter Jr., I was able to get him right after the trade in a couple places. So if Wendell Carter's available, I like that. I'm not counting on Mo Bamba. I think Wendell Carter's going to hurt him. I did in my Dynasty 16 team where I picked up Kem Birch. I know he had a big game because Carter wasn't there yet, but I think they really like Birch in Orlando. I think he still gets some time, actually, with no Gordon. I think he could play a little power forward. So Birch, I think, could be a sneaky pickup, but we'll see. I think Okiki's a big pickup there. Cole Anthony, if he's available, injured, he's a good pickup. I think all those young guys, I think Hampton has potential. He's going to be more of like a 3 and scoring kind of guy though. But I mean, he's going to get the minutes. So I would say, I guess if I had to list it in order, let's say Carter Jr., Okiki, Anthony, Hampton, Birch. I don't know. Maybe Birch secretly jumps up. Oh, Dieng's on the Spurs. Okay. Sorry, I missed that one. I was out of town this weekend. Just got back. I was golfing today. Dieng on the Spurs. Interesting. And I hear one of my kids about to run in through the door. So, man. Yeah, I think if he's going to get minutes, I like Dieng. He just needs minutes to be productive. Anytime he's getting minutes, you can say hi to my kid who saw him on video and then ran back out. Wait, here's a twist, Justin. You're getting Holiday and Garland, but you have to give up Shea and Kevin Porter Jr.? Man, I'd have to research more on what's going on with Shea. If it looks like they're not going to rush him back, I mean, you want to do it, but that's a lot to give up because I think Porter Jr. is going to go nuts when he's healthy in Houston. He's going to be the guy, man. So, I would have to, adding the KPJ twist makes me want to maybe hang on to Shea and KPJ, honestly. But I have to look more into what's going on with Shea. Kyle Anderson or Tate? Ooh, man, I love Slow-Mo's game. And I always accidentally call him Kenny Anderson. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I'm notorious on these shows for calling him Kenny Anderson by accident. I mean, I'm leaning Anderson just because he does a lot more across the board than Tate does. Yeah, I'll say Anderson. But I like Tate. Yeah, I would pick up Olynyk over Danny Green. Danny Green does this. He gets hot and I would pick up Olynyk over Green. I think consistently over the rest of the season, Olynyk would be better. Is DeLon Wright a drop? Look, I've never been a huge DeLon Wright guy. I know a lot of guys on HoopBall and fantasy experts love his game. He's probably a drop, though, in his new spot. Thank you, everyone, for the Jang to the Spurs updates. Yeah, I just check if Jang's getting minutes. If he's getting minutes, he's always a great fantasy guy. All he needs is like 15 or 20 minutes, and he's worth a pickup for what he brings. So we'll see what they're going to do with him. I love Pirtle. Pirtle's been my guy there. Let's see. Jed asks, which two of these guys should I pick up, by the way? Kyle Anderson, Graham, Tate, Okiki, Burks. I would say definitely Graham, because I think with Ball out, he's going to play a lot, especially if you're punting field goal percentage. I mean, look, I would say Anderson and Graham, just because Anderson does more across the board. I'd say Anderson and Graham. I'd love to have Tate too, though. So if there's a way you can get all three, yeah, I would say Anderson and Graham. But all of those guys have potential to be good. I think Burks is more dependent on injuries, though. Okiki is he's gonna be up and down. His shooting's not great, but I think Tate, Graham, and Anderson should be owned in most leagues. Let's see. Oron says Kyle Anderson, Kelly O, or Ross. Kelly Olynyk, I would say. But I love all three of those guys. So that must be a 10-teamer at the most if all three of those guys are available. I'd rank them Kelly O, Ross, Anderson, probably. People forget about Terrence Ross on the Magic. I did too when I was just talking about Okiki and stuff. I think Ross, as long as he's healthy, he's going to have free reign to do whatever he wants in Orlando. So I forgot about him. But yeah, I like all three of those guys. If it's a 12-teamer, I mean, none of those guys should be available. Yeah, I talked about this earlier, Joseph. I guess people are just starting to join now. I can go back to Drummond really quick. So, yes, Drummond is going to be a beast. With no LeBron and no Davis, Drummond is going to be a monster. He's going to kill Marc Gasol. Marc Gasol is dead. We can have a funeral for him. He's done. Montrezl Harrell's still going to do what Harrell does. Bench guy, occasionally awesome and teases us. No blocks, of course, which sucks. Yes, Kuzma gets hurt by Drummond. Although I think as long as Anthony Davis is out, Kuzma will still have some value because he's going to play. It's going to hurt his rebounding and his blocks a little bit, but I think Kuzma still is going to be what he is. So as long as Davis is out, Kuzma is going to play and be good. So I don't think it kills Kuzma like it does with Gasol, but it hurts him a little. But as long as Davis is out, I think Kuzma still maintains his value. Cousins linked to the Celtics. Look, Cousins isn't going to change anyone's fantasy anything. He's not, even if he goes to the Celtics, it's still the Robert Williams show there. I don't think you should even waste time worried about Cousins, Sam. I know he's tempting. I mean, you see what he can do in limited minutes, and he's still kind of got some of that going on. But if these teams are not taking a shot on him and he's available, it's got to tell you something. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got 12 likes. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. All the likes help. It helped grow the channel. I said earlier, I know it's like kind of a weird thing because you don't want other people in your league knowing about us because we help you out, but we want everyone to know. Just join the Discord. Go to hoop-ball.com, sign up for the premium membership. It's $4 a month. It's like $4.99 a month. And you get access to all of our Discord channels. It's crazy. We have like 30 threads on there. We have one for every single team in the NBA, so you can just talk about your favorite team. We have trade advice, rank my team, sit, start, injury reports. Each of us have a night where we're on answering live questions for an hour a night. We also have MMA, golf, hockey. We do all kinds of other fantasy sports on there too for $4.99 a month. I mean, that's nothing for the hours you're going to get. And that's at hoop-ball.com. Sign up for the premium membership. You also get access when we do premium videos too, that we go out just for the members. So it's totally worth it. Like, I work for the channel. I pay the $4 a month. It's worth it. Let's see. Andre says, hey, how do you feel about Middleton and Wood resting for the rest of the season? Which would you prefer? I mean, I don't think either is going to rest for the rest of the season. I mean, I'd rather have Christian Wood from a fantasy perspective. But I mean, look, I think they're both going to be fine. I mean, I'm not worried about it. Teams aren't going to want to just drop in their rank. Even the Bucks, they're not going to want to drop. The Houston wants to play Wood. They want these guys to play together because at some point they want to be competitive. So I don't worry about guys resting unless it's like an Al Horford situation. That's weird. I mean, that's when you have an old guy on a crap team. But Wood is not an old guy. Wood's a young guy. They're going to play him. They want to make sure he's durable. They want to see what they got. They want to, yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't worry about him. Joseph's laughing at something. I don't know what it was, but hopefully it wasn't at me and with me. But either way, it's cool. If I had to drop one of Boucher, Pirtle, or Rocco to get Nurk, I mean, I would drop Rocco of those three to get Nurk. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If the news on Nurk is that he's going to be back soon, I would drop Rocco to get him because he hurts Rocco. He'll hurt Rocco a lot. Yeah. So yeah, definitely Covington. Let's see, Burks or Hero rest of season. Alec Burks or Hero? I'd say Hero. Well, man, what does that say about Tyler Hero that I even have to think about this? Yeah, I'd say Hero. Hero's good. The 6-man role is his. He's going to be fine. I mean, he's a disappointment based off his average draft, but I think people way overestimated Hero, honestly. I think, but yeah, I would say Hero over Burks because Burks is too injury dependent. What's your opinion on Mitch Robb with a fractured foot? My opinion is that sucks. Is he a definite drop? Yeah. Drop him. I mean, fractured foot. He's done. I mean, look at TJ Warren. I mean, these guys don't come back from that right away. I would assume he's done for the rest of the season. I mean, maybe they get him back in the real playoffs, but that doesn't help you in fantasy. Yeah, I think you got to drop him. I haven't read a recent injury report on him, but I assume it's got to be 6 to 8 weeks, right? That's a drop. Gasol's funeral. Yep, he's done. Poor Markey. Who do you think is going to play more for the Heat at the 4? Ariza or Bielitsa? Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I have Ariza in a couple of deeper leagues, like my 30-team dynasty, and I was psyched because I got him in a trade where I traded Christian Wood and like Pascal and Pritchard and got AD back. I didn't even have to give up that many picks. And of course it sucks because AD is hurt. That's terrible. But it is a dynasty league, and I have AD and Harden now in a 30-team league. But I also got Ariza as like a throw-in on IR, and I've just been sitting on him. And it was fun to see him kind of blow up a little, but that was purely based on trades and not having people available. I think Ariza plays more strictly because he's a better defender, and they already have the offense. So I think Ariza probably plays more just for his defense, even at 35 or whatever he is. But they definitely hurt each other. They're probably neither one is probably worth a pickup, to be honest. There's probably guys who are going to get more playing time. Look, Bielitsa couldn't crack the lineup in Sacramento. You think he's going to crack it in Miami, who just were in the NBA Finals? No, Ariza is going to play more, but both of them are probably borderline fantasy at best. I mean, they're probably not even worth a pickup. Yeah, but Danny Green keeps coming up. Hold on, I'm going to take a look here. What has he done? Has he just been on fire lately? I got to see this. Oh, I see the Spurs are going to release Chris Markey, because I'm a Warrior fan. I kind of suspected, because Chris is a free agent, that the Warriors told him, like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to save some money, but we plan to bring you back. Because, look, Looney sucks. I would love to see Marquise Chris come back to the Warriors. He'd be great. So what's Danny Green been doing? I never have Danny Green. 17 points, 5 of 10, 5 threes in 28 minutes. Over the last 2 weeks, he's providing top 25 value and 9 cat. And he's only in, I mean, look, top 25 is top 25. You can't, I guess you got to pick him up while he's hot, but don't be surprised if you're dropping him in like 3 days or the next game is a complete tank. But yeah, I mean, if he's that hot, you got to pick him up. I mean, it's the defense is what's doing. He's going to steal a couple blocks. That's not going to be there most of the time. Look, you got to add him. Depends who you have to drop, though. But don't be surprised if you're dropping him again in 3 days. So don't drop anybody who you're going to regret if Danny Green all of a sudden stinks it up for the next week. Because, look, Danny Green's not a top 25 player. And he's not all of a sudden a top 25 player. He's just hot right now. And he does this every year. And then he ends up back on waivers. What kind of production are you expecting from... Look, yeah, I mean, you got Jordan there, you got Claxton there, you got Griffin there. I think I would think Aldridge is definitely worthy of 12 teams just because of who he's been and who we know he is. But you have to look at a couple things. One, Brooklyn's deep. They have good center depth. They have big guys. They still have Jeff Green too, I believe. Also, before he got hurt in San Antonio, Aldridge definitely looked like he lost a step. There's not, he was not looking that good before. I would think he's worth it if someone dropped him. Yeah, I mean, maybe I would do it. Look, I traded Aldridge for Joe Ingles in my Dynasty League, and I have no regrets. So, yeah, I think he's probably worth a chance to see what he can do, but I would not expect a whole lot out of him, honestly. Pirtle. Yeah, Pirtle over Carter Jr. for sure. I think Pirtle's been great already. I think Carter Jr. is going to be good, but I'd prefer Pirtle, honestly. Can Otto Porter pick up where he left off? No. I said earlier, I'd be surprised if he even plays in Orlando. Maybe he has already, and I sound like a complete idiot, but I think he's complete opposite of what Orlando's looking to do. So I don't think he's going to pick up where he left off, to be honest. I think they're going to play a lot of their younger guys. But maybe there's something I'm missing. I was out of town, like I said. This is a really good question, Jed. I've been asking myself this question. Is Claxton dead now that Aldridge is in town? Look, Claxton was alive, but he was doing it in like 15 or 20 minutes, which I still think he's still going to get. I think he could still get like 15, 20 minutes. So I think he's just going to he's that dynamic fantasy guy. I'm so excited for what he's going to do in the future. I have him in a real salary 30 team keeper league, and I'm getting first round pick offers, crazy offers for Claxton right now because people have seen what he can do, and he signed for like $1 million in a real salary league, which is crazy. So his future's bright. I think he can do that kind of damage 15, 20 minutes. Look, you weren't getting a ton out of him. It was more just exciting on where he's going to go. So I don't think he's totally dead. It'll be interesting to see how the minutes shake out. I think Brooklyn is going to try to save Griffin and Aldridge a lot for the playoffs. So they're probably going to play Claxton quite a bit and then rotate those older guys out and let the younger guy play. And Durant's out too, so that's going to help Claxton as well. So I think Claxton is still definitely worth owning. His upside's just too big. So yeah, don't bail on Claxton yet. Don't bury him next to Marc Gasol. Clark or PJ Washington. Yeah, PJ's my guy. If you've been listening to HoopBall, you know I love PJ Washington. Yeah, PJ for sure. Is Grant Williams a dynasty hold? Yeah, look. If I have to give you an answer right now, Dan, I say it's a mirage. Grant Williams is in a tough spot. Boston just got deeper. Yeah. Nope. If you got someone better, trim that fat. Grant is fat. Is Boogie worth to put in an IR spot? Justin, if you have an IR spot, why not? Stick him in the IR spot. See what happens. I'm not super optimistic that that Boogie Cousins is going to do anything for anybody ever, unless it's like a family member and he's helping him move, and he needs, or one of his family members needs something off a really high shelf. Then he might do something for somebody and get that really high thing off the high shelf. Other than that, I don't know that he's going to do a whole lot for your fantasy team. But look, I always do this, and when I have IR spots and there's good guys on waivers or potential guys, I add them to the IR spot. And then if one of my legit guys get hurt, I drop them and replace them. So if you have IR spots and they're not filled, you're blowing it. There's always someone on waivers that's hurt who you can add to an IR spot. I got Cole Anthony sitting on IR. You grab whoever. Just look for the top ranked injured guy and fill your IR spot. It's a waste of a spot if you don't have them filled. So that's my fantasy tip of the day. Fill your IR spots because you never know. LaMelo Ball, put him in there. Boogie, put him in. If you got an open spot, fill it up. If it's sitting empty, you're just wasting it. You might as well take the chance. I mean, who knows? Even if there's a 10% chance it pays off, it still could. You never know. Because somebody could get hurt right when they come off waivers. You never know. Derrick Rose or DSJ? Look, Derrick Rose, yes. The Knicks are in contention, so they're going to want to play him. And when he's healthy, they're going to play him. He's an older gentleman, which sounds weird because I'm older than he is, but he, with not the best health record, so they're not going to bring him back when he doesn't have his win back or he's been sitting out because they don't want to risk injury because they actually have something to play for this year. So yeah, I would say Derrick Rose for sure. Although I love DSJ. Yeah, I mean, Dennis Smith. Yeah, I'd say Rose over Smith because I think Killian's going to come back soon. Roby or Stewart? I say Roby because we've seen him do it. I like Stewart a lot, but Plumlee's going nowhere. He's going to consistently get those minutes. Stewart, I love in dynasty leagues. Future, I think that guy's a stud. He doesn't need a lot of minutes. So if something happens to Plumlee or whatever, I like Stewart, but I go Roby. Roby. Is Kobe White a hold in a 16 team? That's it, man. Can you believe you're even asking this question, Jed, at this point? Like, did you think when you drafted Kobe White or traded for him or whatever that you'd be wondering in a 16-teamer if you should hold on to him or not? That's how crazy fantasy basketball can be. My answer is yes, I would hold on to Kobe White in a 16-teamer. I think there's a good chance he tries to shakes it off. I think the Bulls are motivated to try to get him going. At least I would be. I mean, he's shown potential. So, yeah, I would say he's a hold. Maladone, I love Maladone. I have him in a 16-teamer. But, you do have Jerome there. SGA could come back. So I'd say White's a hold there. But I wouldn't blame you for bailing. From what Moses has been doing, given the opportunity, what's your expectation from Tony Bradley from Joseph C? No, I think Moses is still going to be huge. I don't think Bradley hurts Moses at all. I don't think Bradley hurts Roby at all. I think Bradley has been good when he gets minutes, but the fact that he's been in Detroit, Philadelphia, and they're going with guys like Plumlee and Howard over him doesn't build a lot of confidence around Bradley. I think Moses is totally fine. Don't worry about Bradley. And I don't even know that Bradley's a pickup anywhere, to be honest. Drafted Kobe in the 70s. Yeah. Yep. Look, it happens to all of us, man. Like, think of all of us that have stuck with Anthony Davis. I took him first in a league when I could have taken Harden or Towns or Curry or whoever. Look at guys who are stuck with Durant. I mean, it's just cruel, man. Those injuries are cruel. These coaches like Nick Nurse and messing with Chris Boucher, the love of my life, just won't give that guy a break, man. Maladone or Roby rest of season, Andre? Well, I mean, two totally different players, so it really depends what you need. If you need, I think they'll probably be somewhat equal. All things being equal, they're probably kind of the same from a fantasy perspective. Roby has Moses Brown to contend with. Maladone has Ty Jerome, and then SGA. I would lean Roby just because of the stats that he brings. I would lean Roby there, I think. I like Roby a lot. Moses Brown came out of nowhere on us. This should have been, he should be everything that Roby should have been. Like if I told you in the beginning of the year that Horford was going to get shut down in mid-March, everyone would be all over Isaiah. Roby you could have traded. It would be hard to get Roby out of anybody's hands. But now that Moses Brown's come up, it's like, man, is Maladone better than Roby? Yeah, I would take Roby. Just a few more questions, guys. I'll give it here another like 5 minutes. So if you have questions, ask them. Remember, like, subscribe, comment, hoop-ball. You guys are probably all in the Discord anyway. I'm just preaching to the choir at this point. Welcome to the Church of Fantasy Basketball. Hold these snakes. Let's see, Poku or Okiki? Oh, that's a good question. I picked up Poku in my 16-teamer. I think I get him. I got him at a 14-teamer too. And I'm happy about it. The stats that guy's going to be a fantasy stud. Love Poku. My hot take is Poku. I just think he brings more from a fantasy perspective than Okiki does. More across the board. I say Poku. Whew, man. Did you think you'd be asking this question, Ben, at the beginning of the season? Brandon Clark or Royce O'Neal? O'Neal's one of those sneakies like Harrison Barnes, one of those guys who's just sneaky. Like Kyle Anderson. I almost said Kenny Anderson again. Kyle Anderson, that sneaky value. Well, there's no Jang there anymore, apparently. I would say Clark just because he has a higher ceiling. So I'm going to do what us fantasy experts do when we have a hard time answering a question and tell you Brandon Clark has the highest ceiling and Royce O'Neal has the highest floor. So make of that what you will. Fournier and Hield or Kemba and Clarkson. Ooh, is this a trade, Sam, that you have going on? Let's see. Fournier on Boston. I mean, that's pretty deep there, but I still think he'll be pretty good there. Wow. Man, Clarkson's been so good. And Hield, I hate Buddy Hield. I just don't like him as a human, as a fantasy player. Just not a fan. And it's funny that his name's Buddy too. And he's like he's totally not a buddy. He's not a buddy to any of us. He's like, it's one of those ironic names, like when you call a big guy tiny. Yeah. Fournier or Hield or Kemba and Clarkson. Man, chat, what do you think? Help Sam out here. I'm a little torn. I would say Kemba and Clarkson because I think Fournier and Hield are kind of the same player. You're getting threes and points versus you get some more stats, I think, out of Kemba and Clarkson. So I'd say Kemba and Clarkson. I do worry about Kemba's playing time, but I'd say Kemba and Clarkson just to say something. Hey, Andre. Yeah, I talked about Gafford earlier. I do like Gafford. There's still, Len and Lopez, but I think Gafford's potential, he's way more exciting. I love his ceiling from a fantasy perspective. I think he's totally worth a pickup. I grabbed him in some deeper leagues. Did I get him any 12-teamers? I don't know if I grabbed him in a 12-teamer. It depends who you have. If you have someone to drop, I think he's totally worth the risk because I think he could be huge actually in Washington. I think Washington has obviously been struggling to find something since Thomas Bryant went down. I think Gafford could be that fun little piece they have to play with now. Keep Walker. Do you think he'd be the starter of Bledsoe? I think as long as Bledsoe is in New Orleans, he's going to start. I do like Walker, but when Ball is playing, he's worthless. I have Walker in a couple places. I think you keep him and just kind of see how things shake out. I wouldn't worry about Bledsoe. He could end up being some guy who gets like bought out or some weird one of those after trade deadline deals too. I think you keep Walker for now and just see what he can do. But if you're in a shallow league and there's better guys available, you're not going to regret cutting them though either. Jed says rank McConnell, Rubio, Anderson rest of season. Ooh. Well, I think D'Angelo Russell's close to coming back. So I'd say McConnell, Anderson, Rubio. Another one, ranked Brolo, Plumlee, Noel. Yeah, I know everyone, like Mitch Robb getting hurt. Everyone's like, Noel. But look, Noel wasn't really that great the last time Robinson was hurt. It's not like all of a sudden he's a new player. So I would say, well, depending what you need, but I'd say Plumlee, Brolo, Noel. Because I like Plumlee's assists and steals and stuff. But if you need blocks and threes, I mean, Brolo's your guy. So I would say Plumlee, Brolo, Noel. Kemba, yep. That's what I was saying, Joseph. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep. We're on the same page. Yep. Kemba Clarkson is the way to go there. All right, guys, we're at 4:30 Pacific time. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you so much, guys. This was awesome. Thank you for all the questions. It makes this so much more fun to do when there's interaction. Tell your friends. I know it'll hurt you in your fantasy league if you tell them about us, but hey, we would love it. We love to talk to everybody. We do more than just fantasy shows too. We do NBA stuff. One last one. I'll get Jed in real quick because he's asked a lot of questions today. Olynyk or Brolo? Ooh. Hot take, Kelly Olynyk. No, I mean, if you need blocks, yeah, I think Kelly O. I love Kelly O in Houston. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen there? I mean, rebuilding teams are tough to get a read on sometimes. But Wood has not shown that he's really good at staying healthy. So I say Kelly O. That's my hot take, Kelly O. All right. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Jed. Thanks, Andre. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Justin, Ben, all you guys. Really appreciate it. Kenji, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time, and we'll see you on the Discord. All right. Later, guys.